أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. ثم أما بعد، عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنه يقول: قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: ما من أيام العمل الصالح فيها أحب إلى الله من هذه. قالوا: ولا الجهاد يا رسول الله؟ قال: ولا الجهاد إلا رجل خرج بماله وأهله ولم يرجع بشيء. This hadith is the basis of the 10th days of Thulhijjah, only for people who just look deep and deeper beyond the text. ما من أيام, not a single day from the 365 days. العمل الصالح, righteous deed, any righteous deed. A smile is a righteous deed. Handshake is a righteous deed. A penny is a righteous deed. Dua is a righteous deed. Any righteous deed. العمل الصالح فيها أحب إلى الله. No righteous deed, from removing harm from the ground to the highest. What's the highest? Jihad fi sabilillah. No righteous deed in any of those days more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than a righteous deed to be done in the 10 days of the Hijjah, first 10 days, which we are, alhamdulillah, we completed one day. Sahaba radiallahu anhum could not really, they understood what Prophet Muhammad said, but it is so big to the point that they need to confirm it. Is this how, you know how sometimes you hear something, you understand it, but it's like you want to clarify a little bit more because it is too big to swallow or too big to really take it. It doesn't matter what you do in the 365 days, it doesn't matter how big it is, any small deed in these 10 days of the Hijjah is better than that. So they went to the max. They said, وَلَا الْجِهَادْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, O Prophet of Allah, you said any amal, not even fighting in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala equal to that deed? قال وَلَا الْجِهَادْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Ya Allah, just think, what did you do today? You read one verse, it's better than jihad fi sabilillah. That simple. It is a chance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to go to Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to go to Jannah. Wallahu yuridu an yatuba alaykum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to forgive you. He's giving you golden opportunities. والرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: تعرضوا لنفحات الله فإن لله نفحات يصيب بها نفحات من رحمته يصيب بها من يشاء. وقال: اعملوا خيرا دهركم. يعني do good all your life, all year round. But make sure you're more special in these 10 days. Because this is one of the nafahat, one of the breaths of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that if it touches you, what a blessed person you will be. For a person to not look at those 10 days as something golden opportunity and really look for good things. Think, even think good. Think, just the way you think good. It is rewarding, and not rewarding just simple reward. When we talk about, it doesn't matter what it is, thinking is better than it, different times. أعظم أيام السنة هذه الأيام. وابن القيم رحمه الله gave us something. Maybe we can go a little bit further than just pray and fast and charity and all of that. He said, referring to a person dealing with one another. He said, من رفق بمسلم أو بعبده أو بعباده رفق الله به، ومن أحسن إليهم أحسن الله إليه، ومن رحمهم رحمه الله، ومن نفعهم نفعهم الله، ومن جاد عليهم جاد الله عليه، ومن سترهم ستره الله، ومن منع خيره عنهم منع الله خيره عنه، وما عامل عبد عباده بصفة إلا عامله بتلك الصفة في الدنيا والآخرة. فالله سبحانه وتعالى لعبده بحسب عبده لعباده أو لخلقه. When you deal with people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deals likewise. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, you're kind to them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kind to you. Merciful to them, Allah is merciful to you. You're generous with them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala generous to you. You cover them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cover you. You do good to them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does good to you. You deprive them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deprives you. Any quality you deal with people with it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deals with you the same quality. It is how you deal with people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will deal likewise. So in these days, it's not just a focus on pray and fast and connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wonderful, but what about the people? What about the people? Helping people, greeting people, making dua to people, harmony, getting together, calling people, connect with your mom, with your dad, with your sister, with those people who are far away from you, with your kids, forgive people, call people and ask their forgiveness. Anything you do, wallahi, I don't know how to just explain that hadith. It is so valuable because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has special times and special days that He loves you so much when you do good. Why? Because people don't pay attention to those times. 10 days of Thulhijjah. 10 days of Thulhijjah, you don't see people talking about it everywhere, hardly. If you compare it to the last 10 days of Ramadan, Ramadan already built you up 20 days before the last 10 days of Ramadan. Everyone in the whole world is fasting. Everyone is talking about it. You are boosting yourself through yourself and other people, and you're going with the flow, just like they say. But when it comes to the 10 days of Thulhijjah, it's like hidden, so quiet. Only intelligent people, only smart people, only people with open minds, only people who want the Jannah would take advantage of it. Not everyone. Not everyone. And it is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than those days of any other days. 10 days of, last 10 days of Ramadan. They are nights and these are days. Look at the comparison if you want to compare the two of them. Last 10 days of Ramadan. What was revealed in that? In Ramadan? Quran. These 10 days of Thulhijjah. What happens in Thulhijjah? Religion was perfected. It started in Ramadan, was perfected in Thulhijjah. Okay, what do you have in Thulhijjah? You have Laylatul Qadr. What do you have in these? You have Arafah. What happens in Arafah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frees people from hell more than any day of the year. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives 2 years of sins for the person who fasts. And what happens after that? You have Eid. What is Eid? Eid al-Adha. What's so special about it? أعظم أيام السنة. The greatest, most valuable day of the year. And in Ramadan, what is Ramadan? Rukun, or one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Thulhijjah, Hajj, 5 pillars of Islam. What do you do in Ramadan? Zakat al-Fitr. Zakat al-Fitr purifies and erases the sin. What do you do here? Udhiyah. With every hair, a sin is erased, or you get a hasana for every. If you were to look, they're just so awesome. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, you don't really compare them in the sense of which is better. The nights, the 10 nights of Ramadan are the best nights, and the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are the best days. Picture yourself. What happens in those 10 days? Hajj is there, Salah is there, Sawm is there, Zakah is there, Dhikr is there, Quran is there, everything is there. So it combines the mothers of all righteous deeds. And you find some people sleeping and not thinking too much about it. Intensify your Quran, intensify your fasting, intensify your Salah in Jama'ah, intensify your reaching and dealing with one another, especially your kinship. Intensify, why should I tell you read a page or two Quran? Why don't you read the whole Quran? How hard is it? In 10 days. People normally read the Quran in a week. You got 10 days, why can't you finish the Quran? 323,000 hasana in that. How many jihad fi sabilillah you're going to equate that to if one verse can equal that? You see? And when you want to give, why don't you give now? And for those who, of course, everyone is going to slaughter. I don't think anyone is so poor that cannot afford a slaughter. And make sure you do that. And for those who don't know that you cannot cut your hair or clip your nails if you intend to make a slaughter. If you didn't know that before, from now refrain until you slaughter. If you know that from before and you still did it, you're sinful. Sinful, but your dhabiha is good. Make sure you have dhabiha. Don't dish your food all overseas and make us starve to death here in America. We want food here too. So slaughter there and slaughter here, and you can afford it. Raise your hand if you can. See? Nobody. Everyone affords it, mashallah. So slaughter one sheep here, one sheep there, and if you want to send everywhere. But the thing is, you have to have relationship here. You have to have it. If you don't, if you take everything overseas, then we cannot have that harmony and that love. Right, Brother Abdul Karim? Brother Abdul Karim, you're texting Angel Jibreel alayhi salam? No. If you pay attention, it's a lot better than iPhone, trust me. You like food?
I do.
Good. I'm asking everyone to slaughter here, and next week. What's next week?
Sunday.
What do you call that? Arafah. Arafah is when?
Sunday.
What's the date?
11.
11 of what?
No.
September 11 is the day of Arafah. September 12 is the day of Eid, which is Eid is next Monday, inshallah. Eid is a great day. Make sure you take care of it and make sure that you do everything good. Start from now. Before you pray your witr, pray extra 2 rak'ah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is considered qiyam. And fast tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday or as much as you, but in worst cases, make sure you fast Arafah and just be good. And put it in your mind all the time. Keep reminding yourself, it's 11th. Why do I keep saying 11th? It's the 10 days of the Hijjah, the 10 days of the Hijjah, the 10 days of the Hijjah, the 10 days of the Hijjah. ما من أيام العمل الصالح فيها أحب إلى الله من هذه. قالوا يا رسول الله ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله؟ قال ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله إلا رجل خرج بماله وأهله ولم يرجع بشيء. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.